So then, how does that environment or that situation then open a door for you to look at the internet? Where does that relationship come into play?
I mean, I don't know, because I didn't even get into that until way later, until when I was in LA. So after I left and moved, the only thing about getting into the internet, the only thing that did was, like, after a while, you just you stop waiting for opportunities, waiting for the business to give you an opportunity. That's all we do. Wait for this call, wait for this audition, wait for this meeting, wait for this opportunity. Very rarely did we go out and create our own opportunities for ourselves. I mean, people, period. You know, some of the most successful people are successful because it was birthed out of rejection. Look at Jay-Z. You heard his story a million times. Steve Jobs, all Bill Gates, all the niggas was turned down, son. Turned down. Their ideas were like, nah. You hear me? The richest people in the world were, like, turned away. I think it's encouraging if somebody tells you your idea is dumb. You'd be like, bet. That's how I know it's good. You know, so where was I going with this? Sorry, I always do this. What was your question initially? Yeah. So, like, creating opportunities for yourself. So, like, I just remember I was an actor and I was, like, feeling like, man, like, I feel like I'm running into these auditions, waiting for these people to tell me no, yes, waiting to book this job, waiting to whatever. I'm like, my life is hanging on by someone else's yes or no, by one or two or three or a handful of people at a studio or network. I was so tired of that. So I took a break because I was tired of, like, the politics of the business. And then after, like, a 2.5 year break, when I was coming back, was around the same time Vine was kind of like 4 months old. And I remember my friend of mine who was an actor was like, yo, it's time for you to come back, bro. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, it's time for you to come back. You've been gone too long. I was like, nah. And then, like, a week later, this random casting director saw me walking down the street. She was like, I know you. I was like, you don't know me. She's like, no, you're an actor. I was like, I mean, it's LA. She's like, no. Like, I know you. She started naming off my projects that I did. And I was like, oh. And I was like, yeah, you're Greg something. I was like, see, you don't know me. She goes, no, I got the last name wrong, but you were in this, that, and the third. And I was like, oh, shoot, yeah, how'd you know? She's like, yeah, where you been? What you been doing? I was like, what are you talking about? She goes, I haven't seen you. I was like, I took a break. She goes, it's time for you to come back. That was the second person in that week. And then it was like one more person. And I was like, all right, God, I hear you. All right. Like, people offering to help hands without me having to ask. And so I made a decision to go back into the business, but I was rusty. Around that time, like I told you, I discovered Vine. And I had a couple of people, like a couple of friends were on it. I saw them playing around with it, but I didn't know what it was. I thought it was called Vin at first. And one of my boys who I followed on Twitter, I started seeing him post these little videos that were looping. And so, but I know he was an actor, and I wasn't, like, hot on social media because, you know, I was a serious actor. I want to be taken serious and professional. You know what I mean? I can't be on social media playing around. And, but I saw that he was an actor and how he was using it was different than anyone I had seen use it before. And they were doing skits. And I was like, so if you do it, at least somebody could see it. Somebody in the business, some agent, somebody, whatever, could see you using your talent as opposed to just messing with people because you got a phone and you get a lot of followers. Yeah, you have a lot of followers. You know what I'm saying? So after that, we kind of met and whatever. And I was like, I see you using it for that. Do you like it? And he was like, I mean, I kind of like it. And if anything, as an artist, any artist, whether you're a rapper, singer, artist, actor, dancer, you're a creative. You just want to create. A creative is born to create. You're not created to do anything else. And so if you don't do that, what happens? You become creatively stifled. You get constipated. You know what I mean? Because you're not creating nothing. And so we have to get stuff out. So I was feeling constipated. I was feeling stifled. And I knew it was time for me to go back, but I felt rusty. And so because I saw my boy kind of using it for that, and that got my, like, creative heart pumping, and I was like, I just want to start shooting again. I don't care what it is. I don't give a damn what it's on. I just want to get used to being in front of a camera again. Any camera, whether it's a phone camera, a set, whatever. I don't care. And so I started making Vines because I was, like, bored and I wanted to knock the rust off. And that's the only reason I started making Vine. Because I was nervous, because I was doing that to get back into the business. Yeah. And I know where I was like, but I'm not going to take that. I'm going to just do it as practice. And then the rest is history.
And it worked. What happens when something like that works?
I don't know. It's kind of like a dope experience because it's like something for the first time, like, you worked hard for. And the reality is that's something that I built that other people created that no one else can take credit for. Like no studio exec, no casting director, no producer, no director could be like, you ain't do a damn thing. Like I did this. You understand, with my hard work, and then of course, thankfully, the support of fans who like your content. But you don't need any validation from this monster machine that we all are so desperately waiting at the table for some food to fall off the damn table. You know what I'm saying? It's like now we make our own tables. We set our own places, and I invite who I want to sit at my table. I don't need you anymore. We never did. That's what they're afraid for us to find out. Chance the Rapper proved that model with music. They hate him. You understand what I'm telling you right now? So it's like, even Tyler Perry's got to figure it out.
He's franchised everything.
He's got to figure it out. He don't need them. Distribution, green lighting, producing, studio, distribution, set everything. Like everything. Imagine if he well, that's opinion of taste. But just imagine if he made things that were pieces that, I don't know, like were world important pieces that furthered the culture, or the stuff that Hollywood makes all the time that we cry and complain about ain't no roles for us, or diversity. But then, you know, just imagine that what's at your power, your fingertips. And he's a prime example of that. He made it happen for himself, whether you like it or not. He was tired of knocking on the door. He's like, let me create my own. So.
Because I mean, a lot of creators, especially in the acting world, they work so long without nothing. You know, there's a lot of like you said, knocking on doors. Yeah. And then when you create this space for you on Vine, how do you then figure how to shift it from being an actor to actually a brand and monetizing and putting yourself in a position to change?
That's a good question. Like, so I was an actor first, obviously, and then shifted into this like social media person that, because I got known from that, they think it was like, oh, you're an influencer. It's like, oh, you acting now? I'm like, nigga, I've been acting. But whatever, I can't blame the fact that what gave me the notoriety. So, but even from that, acting now, it's like, it's like, it's a surprise to everyone else that you keep, like, I guess using one thing to elevate off. But it was always a plan for me to do this, and it's like, well, that wasn't working. I took a break, so I was going to use this to catapult that. Yeah. But then that took a life of its own. So it was like this dual thing happening. And now I'm using, so now let me use it to do like this stand-up stuff, this comedy stuff. You know what I mean? Touring and you know, trying to get venues and like building that fan base and getting there used to, like, I'm graduating out of this social media space. I'm graduating out of this making videos, and the only fans you have are kids and 13-year-old teens. I'm like, well, now I'm dispelling that. I'm trying to get out of like the normal social media person and get into more adult themed stuff and kind of let everybody know I'm growing up. I'm graduating. I'm here. Like, so I had to get over a fear, and one of the fears was like standing on stage with just one mic. Can't hide behind video editing. Can't hide behind sound effects. Can't hide behind cuts. Can't hide behind other people making you look good in the scene. It's like you and a stage and a mic. And if you're funny, you're not. You're not. And that's where I'm at now. So it was like everything was a stepping stone. Beforehand, you just scared. I'm gonna die, I can't make it, I'm gonna die. So I use that to life. It's like, man, it's hard, I'm gonna die, I can't make it. I don't know if I'm gonna get through, I can't pay my rent this month, 2, I'm 3, 4, 5 backed up. Mama died, somebody died, this died, my girl left me, this, that, and the third. I'm gonna die, I can't make it. The only reason you say that is because you haven't seen the end.